So today, we're diving into something that I think can literally change your life if you get the hang of it. And that is the power of not reacting. You know those moments where something happens, someone says something annoying, or you get a message that makes your blood boil, and you just react? And just like that, instant anger, frustration, or whatever emotion hits you first. We've all been there. But what if I told you that learning how to not react could save you a lot of stress, drama, and even regret? So in this video, we're going to talk about what it means to not react, why it's incredibly powerful, and how you can start doing it in your everyday life. And don't worry, I'm not saying that you should be a robot and never feel anything. It's more about having control over your emotions rather than letting them control you. So, first off, let's break down what I mean when I say not reacting. I'm not talking about ignoring your feelings or pretending everything's fine when it's not. That's not healthy. What I'm talking about is giving yourself a pause before you act on those feelings. Think about the last time someone cut you off in traffic. Did you start yelling, honking, or maybe flipping them off? That's a reaction. It's instant, it's emotional, and honestly, it probably didn't make you feel any better, right? Now imagine if you had just taken a breath and not reacted in that moment. Would the situation still be annoying? Sure, but you wouldn't have let it get under your skin and ruin your whole mood. That's the power of not reacting. Choosing how to respond to a situation instead of just letting your emotions take over. It's about creating space between the thing that happens to you and how you choose to deal with it. And trust me, it's easier said than done, but with practice, it becomes a game changer. So why do we react so quickly? It's not like we wake up every day thinking, man, I can't wait to snap at someone today. But it happens. A lot of it comes down to our brain's wiring. We've got this thing called the amygdala, which is like the brain's alarm system. When something happens that feels like a threat, whether it's someone yelling at you or something as simple as a rude text, your amygdala kicks in and it wants to protect you. That's why you feel that rush of anger or frustration. It's your body's way of saying, hey, we've got a problem here. The problem is, the amygdala is super fast. It reacts before the logical part of your brain, which is the prefrontal cortex, has time to catch up. So you end up responding emotionally before you've had a chance to think things through. And this is where a lot of us get into trouble. You react, you say something you don't mean, or you make a rash decision, and then later you're like, why did I do that? It's because your brain was acting on instinct, not logic. So the goal here is to slow things down and give your prefrontal cortex, the thinking part of your brain, a chance to take the wheel before you react emotionally. Okay, so now that we know why we react, let's talk about what happens when we don't take that pause. We've all been in situations where we've said or done something in the heat of the moment that we regret later. Maybe you fired off an angry text, or you had a huge fight with someone and afterwards you just felt bad. That's one of the biggest downsides of reacting without thinking: regret. When you react impulsively, you don't always have control over your words or actions. You might say things you don't mean or make situations worse than it needed to be. And once it's out there, it's impossible to get it back. There's another downside: stress. When you're constantly reacting to every little thing that bothers you, it's exhausting. You're always on edge, ready to snap at any moment, and that's not a fun way to live. It takes a toll on your mental health and relationships. Plus, reacting can lead to unnecessary drama. A little misunderstanding can blow up into a full-blown argument just because you didn't take a moment to pause and think things through. So if reacting leads to regret, stress, and drama, wouldn't it be better to find a different way to handle things? That's where not reacting comes in. Now let's flip the script and talk about what happens when you choose not to react. Spoiler alert, it's pretty awesome. I tried this for 30 days and it did wonders. First off, when you don't react right away, you give yourself time to cool down. Instead of letting your emotions take over, you can think clearly and decide how you actually want to respond. Maybe you realize the situation isn't as big of a deal as you first thought, or you find a more productive way to deal with it. Not reacting also gives you control. Instead of feeling like your emotions are driving the car, you're back in the driver's seat. You're the one deciding how to handle things, and that feels empowering. And there's another huge benefit: less stress. When you're not constantly reacting to every little thing, you're way more chill. You're not wasting energy on things that don't really matter, and you're able to stay focused on what's important. Trust me, your mental health will thank you. And finally, not reacting helps you build better relationships. Whether it's with friends, family, or coworkers, taking a pause before reacting can stop small disagreements from turning into huge fights. You're more likely to have calm, productive conversations where both sides feel heard. That's a win-win. So now we get to the best part. You're probably thinking, okay, I get it. Not reacting sounds great, but how do I actually do it? Let's break it down. First, recognize the trigger. The first step is noticing when something is triggering you. This could be anything from someone cutting you off in traffic to a snarky comment on social media. Pay attention to that initial rush of emotion. When you feel it, you've got to pause. That's your signal that it's time to stop and think. Second, breathe. I know it sounds basic, but taking a deep breath can do wonders. When you feel that urge to react, take a slow, deep breath in and then exhale. It helps calm your nervous system and gives you a moment to collect your thoughts. Sometimes that one breath is all it takes to stop you from saying or doing something you'll regret. Third, ask yourself, is this worth it? Before you react, ask yourself, is this really worth my time and energy? Not every situation needs a reaction. Some things just aren't worth getting worked up over. Maybe that rude comment or annoying behavior doesn't deserve your attention. Let it go and move on. Fourth, respond, don't react. If you do need to address the situation, do it from a place of calm, not anger or frustration. That's the difference between reacting and responding. When you respond, you're in control of your emotions and you're thinking clearly. You can express yourself without letting your emotions run the show. And lastly, practice patience. This one takes time. You're not going to master not reacting overnight, and that's okay. The more you practice, the better you'll get at catching yourself before you react. But remember to start small. Maybe try it the next time someone cuts you off in traffic or when your friend says something that rubs you the wrong way. With practice, it will become second nature. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed for more content like this. As always, don't forget to spread loving kindness to all beings around you and be the change you want to see in the world. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.